Now in its 10th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Yes, live from Harlem in New York City, it's me, it's Alex, and it's the Ramble. Ladies and gentlemen, the famous, no, you really aren't, actually, if I think about
exactly.
it.
I mean, you can find me on the internet if you have to.
Chuck Farnham, yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah, hey, man, how you doing?
Good. You know what came out this week?
What came out this week?
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, boy.
That's right. The McRib sandwich is here for everybody.
Really?
Yep.
Now the McRib it's not bad. You know,
No.
people make fun of it. I always liked the McRib enough that I'm putting your name
best.
over here in the center a little more. There we go. That's perfect. All right.
It is the best pressed meat sandwich you can buy.
You know something? When they first came out with the McRib, I went as a joke. I said, okay, the McRib sandwich. Okay. And what they do is they take pork and they either grind it up and make it into a thing.
They stamp out ribs out of it.
And they even have little striations in them like their ribs.
Oh, yeah.
I think, yeah, and little burn marks at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And when they first did it, I went, well, I'll eat this as a joke. And I ate it, and it was probably the best thing McDonald's ever offered.
It is the best thing McDonald's ever offered.
And then they don't offer it all the time.
Only in Germany.
In Germany, they do it all the time.
In Germany, you can get it 24/7.
Why don't they do it here? I mean, McRib.
That is the big question.
How many people were buying McRibs when you went in?
Well, I didn't go in. I went through the drive-through, but yeah. I'm assuming everybody, because that's,
And
when it's on the menu.
How long do they have the McRib for?
It's like 3 weeks.
That's it?
Yeah. It's only in December and only for a short time. And not in every McDonald's.
Because I found McDonald's hamburgers to be...
Crap?
Not crap, mediocre. Really mediocre.
Yeah.
Nothing to write home about. The Whopper was supposed to be better, but I couldn't stand the Whopper either.
Yeah, a kid likes the Whopper. I like Wendy's.
Wendy's was I always, if I had to go to a fast food place served hamburgers, I would go to Wendy's. Yeah.
Right, or Sonic. Sonic is good as well.
Yeah. Any other fast food places you recommend?
You know what? Here's what I'll recommend.
Yeah.
Okay, barbecue sauce, right?
Yeah.
Take your standard barbecue sauce, whatever your pleasure is, and put grape jelly in it.
What?
Exactly. Put grape jelly in your barbecue sauce. You'll thank me later. You're going to go, what the hell happened here?
Look at this guy. Look how he looks. Are you taking his recommendation? Are you taking this guy's recommendation?
People know where to eat.
For putting grape jelly in barbecue sauce?
Barbecue sauce.
Are you kidding me?
I'm telling you, dude.
I make ribs all
you'll
the
be
time.
Happy.
That's my specialty. And I have a sauce I use on a couple of different sauces that I like. Mostly I like Dinosaur. It's, I think, the best sauce that I use. I would not think in a million years, and you couldn't get me in a million years, to put grape jelly in barbecue sauce.
I'm telling you, you're missing out. My son, who's very opinionated with the food area and things that he will not eat things I eat. He's a lot smarter than me. So last night I brought in the barbecue sauce and grape jelly and said, I want you to try this. And normally he goes, no, I'm not touching that. About 20 minutes later, he comes in with 2 thumbs up and goes, That's the best barbecue sauce I've ever tasted. I go, there you go.
Okay, grape. What?
Grape jelly. Just go get yourself some Smucker's grape jelly. Put it in whatever your barbecue sauce is. It will enhance it like you would not believe.
I'm going to try it, but I'm not going to try it on anything I'm cooking. I will just put some in a bunch of barbecue sauce.
Right.
And then
you don't
I'm
have to
going
put
to
a
taste
bunch
the
in.
barbecue sauce.
You know, something the size of, let's see if I got something here. You know, here's some barbecue sauce from McDonald's, wherever my hand is.
Mm-hmm.
You put a little bit in there, stir it around.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. You're recommending taking grape jelly and putting it in McDonald's tangy barbecue sauce.
Yeah, or any, Ray or whatever that.
I honestly believe that it will improve McDonald's tangy barbecue sauce, but I don't know if it's going to help Dinosaur be better.
Dinosaur is a barbecue sauce?
Yeah. There's a Dinosaur barbecue here in New York, and they manufacture a sauce. And I found that of all the sauces that I put on my ribs, it's really the most tasty.
Well, I'm telling you, you put a little bit of grape jelly in there, the world will be better.
You're out of your fucking mind.
Maybe, but it tastes really good. Hey, the kid thought it was okay. He doesn't think anything is okay. I mean, he is very strict with his stuff. And he's like, man, that's really good. I go, I know. Who would have guessed? I didn't think it was real either until I did it.
By
and
the
then I'm
way,
like,
yes, this guy also has a son.
I've reproduced.
You reproduced.
I reproduced.
It was accidental, but you reproduced. You know why I was always very careful about who I would get pregnant?
Yeah?
Because that person you are somehow associated with for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So you have to like them. And I know who you had a baby by, and I don't know how you've taken it all these years.
It was expensive, but I'm very happy with the little guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Is he happy with you?
Yeah. He actually complimented me the other day.
I mean, at a certain point, you're daddy, and then all of a sudden it's like, leave me off a block from school,
Yeah, no, he liked that because when we were going to school, I had that limo. So I would drop him off in the limo or Herbie the Love Bug when I had that. No, I'm a hero with the little kids.
Yeah. But anyway, so, but now he's gotten to the point where he likes you again, right?
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good.
That's great. Yeah. That's terrific.
Yeah.
But aren't you kind of stuck with the mother for the rest of your life on some level?
Not at all.
Not at all. Oh, okay.
No.
Oh.
No.
That's good.
No.
That's good.
That's good.
Because I was in the middle of that whole mess.
Yeah, we had, it's
we
bad.
Didn't talk to each other.
It's
how many years didn't we talk to each other because of that situation?
Oh man, it was forever.
But maybe 20 years?
Maybe.
Yeah. See, I knew the woman, and apparently he got to know the woman, and I knew that she wanted to have a kid. She wanted to have a kid by me. And
Thanks
I wouldn't do it,
dude.
I wouldn't do it because I didn't want this woman in my life for the rest of my life. I was just, she was a good booty call, but that was about it, And all of a sudden, one day she turns up pregnant, and I say, "Who's the father?" She says, "Chuck Farnham," and I go, "Wow."
Yeah, me too. I said, "Wow."
And the only reason we fell out of favor is because you all went to court on the thing, and I kind of testified on her behalf. Because
thanks.
I always believed the mother should have the child,
Except in this case.
Well, apparently it turned out very well. You turned out to be a very good father.
I think I did as good as you can do, being me.
Yeah, and you did. I guess you prevailed in court.
I did
But you had a hard time because they brought out all these pictures of you slathered in grape jelly.
It takes
and
it. The problem with family court in this
he would
country.
pretend on our show. He would dress up as a taco, and they would put like all the taco fillings and stuff on his body, and have people take taco chips and scrape it off his belly and eat them.
Yeah. And the problem with family court in this country is that it leans toward the woman, and it takes forever to get through the system. So it's not like you go in there and like, here's my case, here's the other case, boom, we make a decision.
What surprised me about you was the fact that I hadn't pegged you as the kind of person who would fight for the kid.
Right.
You know, and at a certain point you did, and there was what emotionally in you
all the way.
What emotionally in you did that? You really felt a desire to be
if I'm going to have a kid, he's going to be my responsibility, and while I'm willing to share the responsibility, I'm not willing to give up all the responsibility and let somebody else do it.
You want equal responsibility.
I want to. That's all I wanted was equal responsibility.
That's as it should be.
You're right, and so that's what I was fighting for.
Did you ever think about marrying her?
No,
that never came up.
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. And I fought, I won. Or, I don't know if you win or not. I mean, there was a lot of really ugly things that took place.
The prize was the kid. You won.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's certainly a prize. But,
he's certainly
it's what it is. And you go through it. And now I talk to other people when they're going through it and tell them, how to respond and how to act in situations. And,
you fought for that kid. You really surprised me. Okay, I would have just thought Chuck Farnham. He'll just say, "Take the kid, and don't bother me."
Right.
And all of a sudden, I see that you're fighting to have this kid, keep this kid. And at first, I thought it was you just wanted to get at her. And then I realized long after the fact that wasn't what you were doing, because you were raising the kid and taking responsibility for the kid. You really were a father.
Yeah.
And you were there for the kid, too, all the time.
Yeah, no, he was, at one point I was in court, and the judge goes, "How often is the kid with you?" I go, "Every day." And she's like, "What?" I go, "Every day." She goes, "Well, why don't you just have him all the time?" And I'm like, "I do have him all the time. The only people who don't think I have him all the time is you." And they went, "What?" And the next thing you know, they said, "He's yours. You take care of him. You make all the decisions."
Yeah, good. That was terrific.
And,
well, I got to tell you, I was very wrong in the way I was reacting in that situation. I was simply being asked to take a side.
Right.
And
you chose,
Well, I chose the woman because I had a affinity towards
women.
No, towards single mothers.
Right.
I always appreciated them because she had a daughter already, and the daughter was okay, and she was taking good care of her, and I thought I really have to give her credit as a single mother raising this kid, So that's the side I took for that reason.
Yeah, it makes you, and if you look back on it now, it makes you wonder where that father is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That says a lot right there.
Well, apparently the father wasn't there,
Or he ran as fast as he could because of, whatever their dynamic was.
Well, I was running from her. I didn't want to,
Right.
I knew what she was up to, though. You didn't.
Yeah, that would have been nice. That call would have been handy.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know you were having sex with her. If I did know, I would have warned you. I would have warned you ahead of time.
Thanks.
You know,
I'll keep that in mind in the future.
in the future, keep that in mind. If you decide to have sex with, say, Marjorie.
Yeah. If all of a sudden Marjorie and I get together, I'll ask your advice.
I have a funny feeling you're not her type.
Really?
No.
I don't know. I like her hair.
She has nice hair. She's great hair.
Yeah, she has the good hair.
Yeah. I mean, she's getting to be an attractive old lady.
Yeah, I would say you're on top of that.
But grouchy in her old age.
Yeah.
You know. But she'd say I was grouchy, but I'm not really grouchy.
You've been grouchy your entire life.
No, you know why I'm grouchy? Here's why old people are grouchy. Let's get this straight, folks. Let's settle this right now. Why old people are grouchy is because when you wake up in the morning, every bone in your body aches.
Yeah.
And that's why you're grouchy. You're grouchy because you're in pain constantly or something's bothering you.
My foot's completely numb right now.
I mean, well, I have numb feet all the time.
Yeah. Do they eventually cut those off?
Thrown off my balance, so I'm having to go to physical therapy, which, quite frankly, I don't think works. But Marjorie thinks it's working. But I go to physical therapy, and anyway. This is why old people are grouchy, because they got pain all the time, or one issue or another.
Yeah, no, I got pain all the time.
Yeah,
it doesn't stop.
I mean, it does give you a bevy of excuses, like I have leukemia now. Don't worry, folks. I mentioned to a friend of mine, Albert, I had leukemia, and he went, "What?" You know, and
I did the same thing when you told me, and then I went, wait a second, you don't die from leukemia.
Well,
you
no,
die from old age while you have leukemia.
Well, that's what the kind of leukemia I have. If you have there are other kinds of leukemia that'll kill you within a couple of years, you know. But this is like chronic lymphatic leukemia. And it's something that, like, I'm going to see the doctor on Monday. He sees me about every 4 months, checks me up. I don't have any signs or symptoms. So it's good to go. Come back and see me another 6 months, you know. So it's not a terrible disease, but still it's a good excuse. Alex, take out the garbage. I can't. My leukemia is acting up today. Huh?
Oh, nice. Huh? I have the other one. I was told to not pick up anything I drop on the floor.
Really?
Yeah, because they've seen me fall.
Oh, I see.
So I am not allowed to pick up anything I drop. And it took me a long time to get used to that by falling down.
Can't you
and now I just tell them I dropped something.
Yeah, well, you know, I have this neuropathy, and the neuropathy, I found this out. I watched some woman on YouTube, a doctor with the Mayo Clinic, and she was discussing the kind of neuropathy I have, and said, if you have neuropathy, she says, it affects all kinds of things. It can give you dry eye. I can't figure out how, but it can give you dry eye. It throws your balance off. You know, your sense of balance is.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah,
it's dictated by your sense of balance is dictated by your feet and your legs, and if they go numb, you now have no reference point. Your brain is having a hard time dealing with that.
Right.
So my balance, that's why I'm using a cane, is just in case I start to fall, maybe I have something to prevent me from falling.
Something to hit somebody with.
Well, that too. And to get you through airports in a wheelchair.
Right.
You know, which is the ultimate good deal.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of the wheelchair. I got one here.
You have one there?
I have my own wheelchair. I bought it from a guy. It's all graphite, very light.
Very light, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, really nice.
But do you use it around the house?
Well, it's sitting over here to the left. No. I only, like, let's say I'm going to go to the mall or something.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would throw it in the car.
Yeah, and you have to wheel it yourself?
Well, I have people for that.
Oh, you have people for that. Because, if I got a wheelchair, I'd have to get an electric. What are you looking at?
The kid is writing a note to me.
The kid is writing a note to you?
Yeah, he apparently needs me for something.
Well, you still got another 15, 16 minutes.
I got another 15 minutes. I don't know what he needs.
Just let me keep talking to him, kid.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, now Marjorie went, what?
Yeah, like
No, I didn't. I was yelling at him.
I heard.
I heard. Here, Max, let me see your hand for a second.
So
Here.
you got your kid there.
There you go.
It's a very nice hand, by the way.
Yeah, there you go. He just put his thumb up.
Yeah, yeah. Wait a minute. He doesn't have anything wrong with his finger, does he?
No, he's fine.
Oh, I thought it was your hand on his hand, which was causing.
Right. No, I'm similar.
Yeah.
We have similar hands. But anyways, yeah, that's what's going on. And did you see the parade? Does the parade come by your house?
What, the parade? Oh, you mean the Macy's Day Parade?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all the way downtown. That's in.
Oh, see, I
That's
can
in
never figure
Midtown.
out exactly where you're at.
It starts up. We're at the top of the park. Okay. That's at the bottom of the park where it starts.
So you're near where that guy was shooting the medical guy?
Yeah, we don't know. They have a picture of his face now, but I
Right.
still say they're never going to catch him. I just have this feeling that he's smarter than they are.
Yeah. That was a good idea with the bike and the park.
Well, he had a city bike, which you got to pay for with a credit card, but maybe he stole that one temporarily in order to be able to do
Or
it.
he had one of those, cards that you buy at the grocery
But he
store.
disappeared into the park. He had this big gray backpack on his back. I think what that was for. I mean, why would you carry a backpack on your back? Okay?
Change clothes.
Exactly. Has a change of clothes in there, ditches the backpack, is now in different clothing, maybe put on a fake
Right.
mustache or something like that,
He looks like everybody.
and make sure you've got a car to get out of town, and then you just take off and disappear. That's it. Or you go back to whatever life you had. And
And if you're mad at the guy who runs an insurance company,
you're just
Healthcare.
it's justified homicide.
that might be. That's the first thing that came to my mind was exactly why is he angry at a specific guy? That could be the only reason, right?
Well, he could have had like a wife die, right?
Right.
And then he looked up the head of the company, and then he stalked him for a while and then he shot him. The only thing was, if you looked at the videos of him shooting the guy, it's
Right.
very professional.
Really?
Yeah. And the gun jammed, and he immediately unjammed it, which meant he knew how to take care of a gun like that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't think that's such a big deal. I think people know how to unjam a gun, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't, but somebody might.
But I mean, you have to say to yourself, I can understand if the guy had like a wife die because the insurance company wouldn't pay things off or wouldn't do things, or because he felt it was because of the insurance company, you can begin to understand why he would do that. Although, I don't think that's the answer, but
I noticed the news isn't bringing up that hypothesis.
Well, no, each bullet that he shot had something written on it.
Yeah. Well, the military does that when they send bombs down.
Yeah, but you don't etch it on bullets. He etched things like
No,
deny.
they put chalk on big bombs.
But what did he put on the bullet? Something like deny.
Yeah, 3 words.
Yeah.
How big are those bullets? I don't think I could etch that in there.
Well, you go down to the engraving place and say, "Can you engrave my bullets for me, please?"
Yeah. They haven't found him yet. I don't think he isn't the guy from Boston who was hiding in a boat in somebody's neighborhood. He'd gone.
Well, I mean, if I did something like that, I would make sure that wherever I lived was far enough away that I could then flee the scene, go back home, and never have to worry about being seen again. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, just because they have a picture of his face like this, if I were to cover your face up like that, well, there we go. We'd never recognize you.
Right. You look like almost
Wait,
anybody.
You need me. I'm doing my thing here.
I know, but I thought it was going to be over.
No, it's not over. We had all kinds of problems. Yeah.
We're working.
Huh?
I said, we're working.
Yeah, well, we're almost over here. In fact, we're over in another 5 seconds.
Well, there you go.
See, she couldn't wait for that.
Yeah, neither could he,
To come in and
apparently.
say,
He
I
had,
need you.
I got something else to do after I'm done with this, so
Hey,
I hear.
listen, we'll see you in a couple of weeks, okay?
Yeah, buddy.
Okay,
Happy holidays.
ladies and gentlemen, that there is the famous, well-known Chuck Farnham. Thank you, Chuck.
Bye, kids.
Bye.
Now in its 10th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Well, there we go. That's Chuck Farnham with an interview that we did several weeks ago, and we shouldn't have even talked about that because we knew that the time was going to come. Let me turn on the lights here. The time was going to come where we're going to run that thing, and they would have already either caught the guy or it would have. Well, anyway, so just blot that out of your mind. Oh, boy. I wish I hadn't done that. That was not good. Anyway, how are you, folks? Good to see you. It's a Thursday. Tomorrow night's, by the way, going to be our last show of the year. You realize that? Yeah, it's going to be the last show of the year. Well, actually, it will be the last show of the Ramble. I will do a show on Monday with the pop-up show. Okay. And then we'll be off for 2 weeks, and the only time that I will be back on is New Year's Eve at 10:30? 11:30 Eastern Time. And then we will bring in the new year. And I can't play Old Lang Syne because the last time I did, they demonetized me. Go figure. Go figure. Anyway, we got 3 people waiting for us already. Wait a minute. Let me just do this so that I have them in front of me. Okay, and here we go. Here's Charlie Wallace, and here's Brian Neary, and here is Lee Presson. Wow. Okay, let's see here. Well, he's certainly at an angle. Turn sideways.
You always say that. Yeah, this is bad. Okay, how about this? Is that better?
There we go. That's good. See?
Okay, but see, it's the same thing as this.
No, for some reason, it doesn't do it that way.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm not trying to complain here. I don't want to be picky. I don't have enough callers as it is already. I don't want to piss off the ones that I have, okay? Actually, I'm glad I just have this many people calling because it would be too, sometimes it gets a little unwieldy on Monday when we've got like 16 people. Yeah. But still, there's room for everybody still at that amount. So anyway, tomorrow night is our last night of the Ramble for the year, and we'll see what's going to happen, next year. I think whatever. Anyway, how you guys doing? Lee, good to see you 2 nights in a row.
Hi. Well, you told me I should come back more often, so here I am.
Well, I love having you here. You're a very special person.
Oh, gosh. Thank you very much.
Yes. You go back a long way with me, oddly enough. You go back to when I actually had a radio show in San Francisco.
Such great shows, man. I've been to your show both as an audience member and as a guest.
And as a guest, right. And
You'd have the band on, and we'd invariably play Istanbul because it was our only contact to modern rock.
Oh, really?
And a bunch of swing that the station had
You
nothing
know,
to do with.
I grew up with that song as a kid.
Yeah.
My grandparents had records, and they left them for me. And one of them was Istanbul.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
Istanbul,
grand
not
old song.
Constantinople. Istanbul, not Constantinople. And then later on, what was it? Might Be Giants did it.
They Might Be Giants did it, and it became a big hit.
Yeah, and everybody thought that they were the originators of it. And I'm trying to remember who the band was that I had on the record, but I can't remember.
No.
But it was one
Well,
of
it
my
wasn't
favorite
us.
songs as a kid.
Could have given us the call.
Huh? Yeah.
You
Well,
could have given us the call.
by
We
the
would
way,
have been
before
ready.
anybody complains, there's the Zoom panel. I forgot to put them up. Okay.
Hi, everybody.
You know, I'm getting too old for this. I keep screwing up like crazy. You know.
Yeah, well, that's how it works at our age.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at our age, how old are you?
I'm pushing 60. Yes, I'm the youngest person here.
Oh, I couldn't tell because you color your hair.
Oh,
Anyway.
I color my hair in December because I'm playing. I'm at the Dickens Christmas Fair and I'm playing a character, so I have to dye my hair.
Oh, really?
Normally it's gray.
Oh, really? You're wearing the gray now, huh?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people came out of COVID with gray hair.
Well, yeah, it had a tendency to age people. That whole
Marjorie
experience.
quit dyeing her hair when COVID happened. She
Yeah.
couldn't get it colored, right? So by the time we got it finished with COVID, she was gray, and she kind of liked it, and she kept it that way. You know. And with me, she used to complain about me coloring mine. Okay. And then she went out and kept coloring hers. And I went, how come it's good for you, but it's not good for me? And then she gave me this whole thing about she's a girl. All right. You know, that's always the excuse they use. So, whatever. How are you, my good friend, Mr. Neary?
Good. It's review time, so I stayed home today to finish up a bunch of reviews.
The
The
reviews?
annual reviews for my groups. Yeah.
What reviews of the people who work for you?
Yes, you did so well, blah, blah, blah. You know, those type of things. Yeah.
Do you ever write one and say you really sucked?
No, usually I say it nice, but then I tell them in person that they sucked.
Yeah, well, what happens if they get a bad review?
We do a personal improvement plan.
Oh, I see. In other words, you don't fire them.
No, but I've been in industry when it was, a privately owned PC board manufacturing company, and the owner who used to walk around, he was German, had a Navy background and everything, and he would walk by me sometimes to say, "That guy over there, I don't want to see him here tomorrow." Because he would go talk to him on the line, this guy's money, it's his company. And he would talk to the guy about something, and the guy had no clue what was going on. And he would walk by me and say, "I don't want to see that guy tomorrow."
Okay, we have somebody here named Joy N. So let me put myself up here for a second, and let's see if it's somebody that's going to give. Vernon Nunn. Oh, now it's Vernon Nunn.
Oh, he must have just changed it.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh no, Joy N is somebody else. And it's not Vernon. That's let's see here. Let's see.
Oh, there's Vernon, yeah.
Yeah, Joy N is taking too long.
I'm working on it.
Oh, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Somebody.
Oh my God, it's a woman.
Okay, all right, okay. She sounds as though she's legitimate.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Yeah.
can.
I've got to turn off the video because
Yeah.
there's like crosstalk.
Too long. Okay, you got to turn on your.
Okay, now I can hear me. I have
Yeah,
the Zoom app
Let
open.
me
and
see here. Now you have to turn
hear
on
me?
turn on your camera.
Yeah, hold on. I'm working on it. I haven't.
Yes, okay. We're patient
Fine, here we
because
go.
we don't get credit for a woman unless you see you on there.
Hey.
Hold on. Hang on, I'm working on it.
Okay,
There
Joy.
we go.
I have a meeting next week, and it was like I was setting up Zoom today, and I hadn't been in here in a long time. And I did my background and like the makeup effects and the whole shebang, and it's like I'm gonna test it tonight, and it's not working.
Well, you're working okay. You're
Working
working.
fine now.
Where are you calling from?
I'm in sunny South Florida.
Sunny
Oh,
South Florida.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm from New York. Hold on. Of course, you're not going to remember me, but we go back to like I used to be an occasional caller when you were on TLJ.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know how long ago that was?
Yes, I do. I was learning
Oh
how to.
God, it was so long ago.
Now I'm on Social Security, so yeah.
Really. All the kids that grew up with me are now on Social Security.
Isn't I still can't believe it, honest to God.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you do? What do you do down in Florida? Anything, or are you retired?
Nope. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to work till the day I die, but I love what I do. I created a website, so that sustains me. Because if I had to live on Social Security alone, it's not going to be good. So I hope I drop dead before, the job goes away.
Yeah. Well,
That's kind of morbid, but it's like reality.
well, now you glad you chose to call us. We appreciate it. We really do.
Yeah, I've been on the fence. It's like, oh my God, you're on like YouTube, and it's like, and I listen to it while I'm working because believe it or not, I'm still working, and I will be till after midnight. Websites never sleep. Um, and it's, oh my goodness, a long time since I spoke to you.
Well, yes. Yes. Do you remember what the subject matter was of what we were talking about?
No, I was fiddle farting with Zoom, but I'll tell you two things I remember. Because of you, I learned the word namaste.
Yeah. That was my closing in those days. Yeah.
And you also used quadrophenia as the music closing your show.
Oh, okay. That was
I
that.
remember these things. It was like a pivotal time in my life.
Yes, I had some kind of effect on people.
You did. You were very, very big in, I would imagine, particularly my high school, it's
Yeah.
like we were all like huge fans because we were up all night doing artwork. So,
Yeah. Well, Brian Neary, I was an influence on him, wasn't I, Brian?
Yes. Yes, we had the warehouse would have you on there, and then and that was at Ansel Adams' daughter's shop when I worked there. I worked for Ansel Adams' warehouse.
Oh, really?
Ann Adams Helms. Yeah, I worked for her and her daughter. Ansel's granddaughter. Her and I used to go to a couple of the breakfasts with Bennett's, and then I went by myself a bunch of times.
See, people know me on two different levels. She knows me differently than you know me.
Yeah, right.
You know
I
me
didn't
from
know where Alex went.
Well,
It's like one day you weren't there anymore.
Yeah, but then I went to San Francisco, and the wonderful thing about radio in those days is if you went to another market, you could just change your whole act. So there, I suddenly had comedians on and so on and so forth.
Saw
And
some of those. I
Yeah.
saw the one with Robin Williams.
and
I just happened to find it on YouTube the other day. I was dying.
Mhm.
I would, like run a left nut and given it to have like been in the studio watching that.
Yeah.
Robin Williams crush.
Hello.
Yeah, and I
to-
remember when you guys were just talking about the Istanbul song.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing that at the Breakfast with Bennett or something. So I must have been.
You
I
might
must
have
been
heard
Lee.
Lee Press
Yeah,
on.
it had to
play
be
it.
Lee, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was probably me.
Yeah.
So, and Alan is here. Hello, Alan.
Hello, sorry I'm late.
No, it's okay.
Did I miss anything?
No.
I'm talking about the food.
Oh, the food? No, there is.
No,
And Vernon Nunn down there in Kentucky.
Mhm.
You're back in Kentucky, right? I assume.
Yeah, if I got my mic turned on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a new computer here in my ham shack. That's on my ham equipment in the back there.
Mhm.
And I just got it all set up tonight. And I just wanted to see if it works.
Mm.
And it does it?
Yeah, I moved the camera because it looked like I was staring up at the ceiling. So I moved the camera to where it's right on top of the monitor. So now when I look at the monitor to see you guys, it looks like I'm looking at my camera.
Sounds good.
Is ham radio a thing any longer? Is it still?
It's not as popular as it was back when I got started, which was in high school in 1967.
Yeah.
But it still exists, and there's still, hundreds of thousands of hams in the United States alone.
I think my friend Chuck Farnham still has a ham radio.
Really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think he still does that.
Kevin has his ham license because we were talking one time back when we were doing Skype, and he sent me his call sign and all that, and I looked him up on the database, and sure enough, there he was.
Yeah, good.
I thought maybe that equipment was you were controlling the drones.
No,
I noticed that Joy was doing a vape. Is that
Nicotine.
Oh, nicotine. Oh, shame on you. It should be
That's the
pot.
good stuff,
You
huh?
know.
It just just doesn't work for me. I mean, I started doing that when I was like 13, and when I got my driver's license, I noticed two things. I was like stopping for red lights like 3 blocks down. I was going up one-way streets the wrong way in Manhattan, and I was getting really fat from the munchies. So I decided, this just might not be the thing for me. It was one thing when I was really bored in junior high school. It was like another thing as I got older.
Yeah.
I was noticing the negative effects more than the positive effects.
I only smoke pot to put me to sleep now. So I don't get the munchies. However, I wake up in the morning hungry.
That's it.
So
I have insomnia. I mean, this is like lifelong. Hence, big fan of your
pot's
show
really
in
good.
high school because I never slept.
Pot's pretty
but-
good at putting you to sleep. The indica is the sleepy one,
Yeah.
and so I do it to just put me to sleep at night.
Sure.
Me too.
What do you mean? Sure.
You stick to that story.
I started young and I stopped young. I realized that it just wasn't for me.
I don't really like pot that much anymore.
I don't either. It's not a euphoric high for me.
Because it makes me drowsy. And
Yeah.
and so I use it for exactly that. I never use it to get me high.
When I was a bored teenager and it was very illegal in New York, which gave it like an extra fun value of sorts under those Rockefeller drug laws.
It's no fun now that it's legal.
Yeah, it's like now it has absolutely no appeal whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, I have inherited my father's impossibly high drug tolerance, so I don't get high, which is kind of a bummer. It's like
Your father's
oh,
incredibly high.
Whoopee.
What?
I don't get high, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It takes a heck of a lot to get me high, and I usually get sick first.
Well, I used to get high, on a pretty regular basis. I was never high, never did a radio show high. If I was going to smoke, I would smoke after the show, but never while I was doing it, because I found I didn't have the control that I have when I'm, not smoking. So I never smoked while I was on the air, or before I went on the air. The only problem was I used to do a show overnight here in New York, as Joy may remember, and it was kind of hard to get high after the show because I was through at 6 a.m. I wanted to go home and go to sleep. So
I would imagine, because it impacts my short-term memory, something fierce, something I certainly can't afford at this age.
There
But
is that.
if you're trying to interview somebody and hold a conversation, I feel like an idiot, like I'm blah, what was I thinking?
Mhm.
And it's like that's just not how I want to go about, my day, my
one
night.
night I'll have to bring the vape out and just get high and do the show. You folks will see what I mean. It's bad enough now at my age how forgetful I am, but I will really get forgetful.
That ought to be fun.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
That should be fun to watch.
That's entertainment.
Or he'll just sit there like a stoner and go, blah.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
I saying? What were we talking about?
Yeah, I'm thinking at this age, there are a lot of things you can do because I'm like 80. I just turned 85.
I can't believe that.
And there's just so many things you can do now at this point in your life that aren't going to hurt you, like heroin. I mean,
Well, I
how
wouldn't
bad
go
can
that far.
heroin be at my age?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You'd have to go out and cop.
wouldn't do that.
You still have to be able to run, get away from the cops or
It's
something.
probably
You
the
know?
lousy people you have to hang out with to get it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
when
and
I'm-
you have to be careful it doesn't have fentanyl laced in it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
that's a bigger worry, especially
Yeah.
cop. You're gone.
Yeah, my friend and I, when we used to do like ecstasy at parties and stuff like that way back, we're like, we are glad we don't do stuff now because of all the fentanyl and everything else they're cutting it with.
Right?
Crazy.
They've taken all the fun out of it. It's like it was great. I could experiment in those days.
I
Everything
don't-
was relatively safe.
I don't understand why they're putting fentanyl in drugs and not telling people. They're killing their own customers.
Yeah.
There's always more.
Do you think they care?
No, not really. But
I mean, if
Honey,
these
why
honey-
not keep some of the ones that you got? You worked hard.
Yeah,
to-
Well, these
regulars
people
are
are
easier than
unprin-
trying
if
to
these
snag in
people are
someone new
unprin-
all the time.
Absolutely, Lee. Absolutely.
If these people are unprincipled enough to put fentanyl in the drugs they're selling, then do you think they really care?
A
No.
lot of it's by accident. I have friends who are like heavy dope smokers, and because it like all passes in the same room. If there's any carfentanil, like even in the air, I have friends who are now terrified
Mhm.
to cop dope because it could accidentally be laced, not even intentionally, just the dust, and it's scary. I remember. I'm glad I grew up in the time when I grew up. In fact, I wish I was born a little bit earlier because I was too young to go to Woodstock, which I've always kind of held resentment towards, because I was in upstate New York and I got stuck in the traffic with my parents and I was too young to go to Woodstock. But I made it to Watkins Glen.
Marjorie, my wife, is given some hardcore drugs, okay, for her pain. But nothing that she's addicted to. The doctors have made sure of that. But still, they give her what do you call those snort things you put in people's noses to get?
Norcan?
Norcan.
Taylor?
Narcan.
Yeah.
So we have a couple pens of Norcan here. So if we ever get anything that has like, I think it even works for fentanyl, if I am correct.
Fentanyl's a narcotic. Anything that's a narcotic, it'll reverse.
Yeah. So
It's an antagonist.
Well, if you have chronic pain, that's something by law they make you get.
That's correct.
So.
Well, actually, not just the chronic pain. If you're getting narcotics, they make you get it now.
we got the Norcan for free. In fact, we have about 2 or 3 of them around here. They give her
Right.
new ones
You know how to use them because
That's
she's
because you're
not
on
gonna use-
Medicare.
I think you just put it in your nose, don't you? You just
Yeah, you put one in the nose and hit the plunger, and if that doesn't work, first of all, you call 911, and then you get the Narcan and put it in her nose on one side, and if that doesn't work, it comes 2 to a package. You do the other side, and if that doesn't work, you pray the paramedics can get there real soon.
It's there fast enough.
But it supposedly works pretty well.
It works pretty quick, and if you're wrong, and she's not having a problem with the narcotic, it really has no effect on her. So it's not like injecting her with a drug that if it doesn't solve the problem, it
Right.
makes her sick or kills her or
Right.
something. So it's pretty benign.
Now, are there any people out there who actually just take fentanyl?
Oh yeah.
What
Somebody
are the
once before I knew
positive
what
benefits
fentanyl
of
was.
fentanyl?
He had like back surgeries that weren't working, and this was the first time I heard of fentanyl, but I didn't look it up. I didn't understand what it was, and
Right.
he was giving fentanyl patches. And then, like one day, I looked it up because I had a friend who had surgery, and he said they put him on fentanyl, and I looked it up, and it's like, oh my God! And you're alive to talk to me? I couldn't believe it. It's like 25 times stronger than morphine,
Yeah.
and it's holy. Can I say that?
Yeah. No, you can
It's
say
like,
it. You can say
oh
holy
my-
shit.
Yeah, this is
Oh
Alex
my-
Bennett show.
God, I can't believe this. And it's like, and this guy was, using patches every day.
So they
And-
use
and the
fentanyl
antibodies
in
are speed.
surgery every day.
Yeah.
I did
Surgery-
have it. I had
a
some
lot of
dental work.
a lot of people are given fentanyl instead of propofol.
That's I just had that.
Along with a Valium derivative when they have a colonoscopy.
Well, they have to sedate me to do any of my dental work.
Well, fentanyl, I think
Fentanyl.
if the hospital knows what the dose is going to be fine.
0.25 is what I heard before I went out again. I was like, let me finish up here. Another 0.25. That's so
Kind
that
of dangerous, I think, to
probably
give you fentanyl
micrograms,
for
you know?
dental work.
Well,
No,
once again,
that's
it's
how
time to
they
play
sedate
our favorite game. What is Bree eating?
He's
What's
not
Bree
eating,
having
he's
for lunch?
drinking.
I just finished my lunch. I'm just having tea.
You're having tea, and that's Tao Bin,
Yeah.
which must
Tao
be he's calling, by the way, Joy, from Malaysia.
I've
Do you know that for sure?
Well,
no.
maybe not. Have you moved? Where are you
No.
these days?
This is
Oh, he just touched the word that says cat piss.
Tao
Oh,
Bin
It's
machine.
gonna be in China next week. So.
I don't know. It's in English. It says tea, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
in English.
How cool.
Yeah, but I can't tell where you are by the machine. Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's true, right? But
Yeah.
there you can see.
That's okay. He's not going to tell us either.
Well, he's somewhere in Asia. Okay. Let's see here. Oh well,
He
was
was
going to
going to go to China. He said.
He was going to be in China. Where
Probably
are
in New
you,
York
Bree?
City. I saw the visa sign.
Yeah.
Bree,
I'm down the street.
where
I
are you?
am in Malaysia.
Where
I'll be
are
in
you?
China
Where-
next week and then Thailand.
Bree, where
Yes.
are you?
Malaysia.
You're in Malaysia?
You said Malaysia.
No, Malaysia.
That's next
And
door.
Are you near home? Are you in Kuala Lumpur?
Yeah,
Okay.
a little bit south. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, he calls us from Malaysia.
Right at lunchtime.
Nifty.
My robotic
barista.
barista. Oh, is that where you got it from?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Oh well. Yeah. So anyway,
So good.
we're coming up on the holidays here. Anybody doing anything interesting over the holidays?
Going to China.
You're going to China.
And then I'll be going to Thailand.
Then you'll be going to Thailand. And then when do you return to Kuala Lumpur?
January 3rd
Oh, okay.
for 2 weeks. And then I will go to Bali, Indonesia for 2 weeks.
Oh.
Now, these are all places you normally go to vacation at, but these are places you work, right?
I vacation and work.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Nobody goes
Bali's
to
okay.
Bali that's American and works. They go there for vacation.
yeah.
Hit the
I
casinos.
volunteer for Bali dogs.
Yeah.
We go around and get the stray dogs, make sure they're neutered or fixed, and they have their free medications and stuff.
So we
And
don't
then
we
have
don't
them
we
for
don't talk
dinner,
much
right?
we don't talk much about El Donald.
Well, you said not to.
Yeah, you told us not to.
Well, the latest thing that's bothering me is he's not president yet. Why are they letting him do all this stuff, like go to foreign countries and meet with foreign dignitaries and
Why
do
was
all
he
this?
doing it
Or
between?
shutting down the government.
Huh?
He's ordered them to shut down the government.
Yeah, guess who?
That's okay, the Democrats got theirs.
who doubled down on that? Elon Musk wants them to close down the government.
Yeah.
Well, the Republicans voted for continuing it. The Democrats voted against it earlier today.
Well, some of them did.
Wait a minute. The Republicans voted for what?
They came up with a plan to keep the government afloat, and Trump
Are you
signed off
sure
on
about
it.
that? Because now it turns out that Musk has gone in there and mucked up the works.
Yeah, that would
Well,
happen
the Democrats voted it down, so
It's insane. I'm moving to
They had a
another country.
bipartisan plan
Right?
before
I feel the
Elon
same
Musk
way.
opened his mouth.
You're
What'd you
welcome
say?
here, Alex.
And you know something? For the money that, I mean, was it $250 million in campaign contributions? So Trump essentially has to put up with him. But you know, when his money reaches the right pockets in Congress, they'll do whatever he wants.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's nothing we could do about it. It's just how it works. I'm so glad I'm like closer to the end of my life now than being like 20 and having to
Yeah.
deal with this. The worst president I had to deal with then was like Nixon. And oh my God, he seems mild by comparison,
Yeah,
doesn't he?
that's my old joke. Is I thought so and so was bad, and then I thought so and so was bad, and he wasn't so bad. Quite frankly, Hitler isn't looking so bad right now.
Well, what I heard today was that Gerald Ford's pardon of Nixon is what led Trump to realize he could get away with all this shit.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
yeah.
But
The
I
gift
don't,
that keeps on giving.
there's a question as to whether he can pardon himself.
That's true, but he could also resign and have JD pardon him. And then we'd be worse off with JD as president.
No, well, it's too much to comprehend and deal with. Nothing we can do about it, right?
Let's go back to talking about Christmas.
Yeah.
yeah, really.
How long it's going to take good old JD to invoke the 25th? You know, it's like
Yeah, that's why we don't talk about Pervert Hoover. It's just too damn depressing.
Yeah, yeah. I earlier on have said that there's nothing we can really do about it, so why even talk about it?
what I say.
By the way, I mentioned last night as we were signing off, MSNBC's ratings are down
A bunch.
55%.
Wow.
CNN's ratings are down 47%.
And boxes are up.
It's up 10%, which is not a lot if you consider these people have lost all those people. I think it's just people who don't want to watch the news anymore.
No,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. That's
Right.
that's me. I checked
I'm
out.
one of those.
Yeah.
I don't.
I want to
care.
see if I can get through the next 4 years without hearing his voice.
Marjorie, who always has MSNBC on, finally said to me today, "I can't take it any longer. I'm not watching the news." You know, because I mean, it's just it's what they're reporting more than anything else. In fact, I was wondering. I have a theory that this guy who, what's his name, Luigi Manicotti or
Mario.
Luigi.
Mangione.
Mangione.
Oh, God.
Today they're marching him, I guess, from the helicopter to like police cars or wherever he's going to go. They're walking down a pier, and who's in the line walking with him? The mayor of New York.
Another winner.
Another winner. But I'm saying,
Is he in jail? What happened? It's like
no, but
he's there again?
here's the question. Isn't that kind of an indictment of this guy by the mayor of New York? And isn't that going to play heavily into trying to decide whether they can give him a fair trial here in New York City?
They'll change the venue.
But then a couple of days ago, Trump said something about him and said, well, this murderer has to go to jail, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. That's enough to, like, throw the case out.
Well, Trump
In a
says
normal world.
Trump says Liz Cheney should be tried for treason in a military tribunal too.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's
And
going to happen.
Dr. Fauci. It's like
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I just wonder if this guy isn't going to be able to cop a plea based on the fact that there's all this prejudicial stuff. I mean, there are people on television reporting it saying, oh, well, he murdered this guy. Well, you can't say that at this point. You know, nobody's proved it. You know,
Outside of the video proof that we have, there's
yeah.
outside of the video we have of him doing it, we have no proof that he actually did it.
Yeah.
We
You'll
don't.
say,
Well, we don't.
that wasn't me.
It's like the video of January 6th, and he's going to pardon all those
Yeah,
yahoos.
he's gonna pardon them all.
Does it?
Yeah. Well, oh, by the way, our mayor here in New York, Mayor Adams, would you put yourself on mute,
Bree.
Bree? Because a lot of people, when you want to talk, turn it on. What was I going to say now? I forgot what I was going to say.
We're talking about the mayor.
The mayor. Yeah. The mayor. Now I forgot what I was going to say about him.
Yeah.
Besides
you
being an
voted
asshole.
for him, that he's following
said he
this Italian kid around you were talking about.
No.
Yeah,
But
Luigi.
The mayor.
Luigi.
Perp walking poor Luigi.
Well, I mean, they can't. I mean, he could cop a plea and say it wasn't him, but
They're charging him with terrorism now.
and they're charging him
jeez.
on a federal charge.
Yeah.
They're going to try and go for the death penalty federally.
Why? It's just
Guy's a folk
premeditated-
hero.
Well, how is this?
premeditated murder. I mean, I don't understand.
Because he killed his CEO, not a normal person. God, we worship our CEOs. They're more important than anybody.
Yeah, I mean, if it were you or me that were shot in the street in New York, it would be called Tuesday.
Right.
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
Income equality has become so great in this country that a lot of us have really started to hate the rich. And this guy, Luigi, has turned into like a folk hero of some sorts, where he goes, hooray, one of us shot a CEO.
Yeah.
It's not pretty.
Well,
But that's what we find ourselves thinking.
It shows how much America loves their insurance companies. They feel ripped off by them continually. But no,
he was denied. He had United Healthcare, and he was denied.
I know what I was going to say about Mayor Adams. He got a hold of Trump and wanted Trump to give him a pardon. And Trump turned him down.
Good.
At last, Trump's done something I agree with,
Yeah, but he can't give him a pardon for state crimes.
No, he can't.
Well, I want to know how the federal government can get in on this thing with Mangione, because it wasn't really a federal crime, was it?
No, it's
He crossed state borders.
It's
Yeah, he crossed the
premeditated
state
murder.
borders. He crossed the state line though when he escaped.
When he
So
escaped, but that
what?
that doesn't
That happens
Charged
all
in
the
the state
time.
where
And
you
nobody
think
gets
the crime?
charged federally.
He'll be tried on the state charges first, and then the federal government will step in after the state.
I don't see this. I don't see the federal crime. People do crimes.
Unless it was a
paid all
ghost
the
gun.
time.
Maybe he had a
It
ghost
was
gun.
a ghost gun.
He did, yes.
It was a
It-
ghost gun.
And
Okay,
the ATF gets involved.
Yep.
okay.
Oh, you mean
That
he have
might
to?
be
You
it.
mean if he had used a real gun, he wouldn't have committed a federal crime?
It was a real gun.
It doesn't. That, boy, are we getting stupid or what?
By ghost
we are.
gun. Yeah, by ghost gun they mean that he made it at home, and it wasn't registered and it has no serial number. That's what they mean.
Serial number, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was a
Thought it
real
was
gun.
a 3D printed gun.
Right.
Yeah, it was 3D printed, yeah.
That's right.
How do those
That's why
things?
it had no serial number.
Since there's so much propulsion going on in a gun, how does a ghost gun work? I mean, it's basically plastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Polymer.
They can make it out of ceramic too.
There's some really strong stuff that you can use for 3D printing.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
I don't
right.
know much about it, but I know that different tensile strengths are involved.
I just want to know so when I make my ghost gun, I can
Right.
do it the proper way.
Speaking of 3D printing, have you seen where there is a computer program and a robot that will 3D print a house
Hmm.
Yeah.
with cement?
Yeah,
I've seen
they-
videos.
yeah, it looks like Michelin Man with the two.
Yep.
Actually, they did number them in
They
Texas.
do. It does layers
Hmm.
of cement and builds the wall up, and it
Oh,
has
yeah, I've
little
seen
outlets
that.
for your
Yeah.
electrical boxes and
There's one
everything.
in Florida, and it's so expensive to do that it doesn't pay to do it.
Yeah.
Boy, that's good. Cool though.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And you're very limited. You can't really remodel.
No.
Better get it right the first
Get it
time.
right the first time.
Yeah.
Kind of like an Eichler home.
It's kind of like a high-rise building. It's made out of concrete. They run, tubing channels through the walls, and they feed the wires through there. So they're able to move wires and outlets and phones around in the building inside. They can do it. They don't have to kill the concrete or damage concrete. They can just put wiring around the walls and stuff like that, like an office building.
I hope it was done right, and if anything ever has to get fixed later on, forget about it.
Because it's all set in stone, basically.
Yeah. Can't remodel.
Intended.
It's pumped concrete.
Wow. Well, okay. So,
Now you're gonna have an AI robot 3D printing a gun and kill everybody.
all of a sudden they've added AI to the Mac computers. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I get mail from somebody, and I go to reply to them, and the AI crafts the reply, and it's better than I am. Like I had a friend of mine today, his wife wrote and said, we can't get together because he got sick and blah, 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 blah. And I push reply, and the next thing I know, it comes up, sorry to hear that you're ill, blah, blah, blah. Hope you get well soon. We'll talk to you when you get better. And I'm going, okay, what else do I have to write? Nothing.
That's right. Send.
Your signature.
Yes.
How do you think I just did my reviews? I put in the basic stuff and then it embellishes everything. Done.
Really? I mean, did you say so and so?
Yes, but-
If you're in business, you need to start playing with AI. You really need to. You really need to. Small stuff like that. Small, like you're saying, just say thank you. Hope you get better, and then you plug it in there, and it embellishes everything really nice, and you send it off.
I think.
But it tends to use the same words. So there are certain words, if you see it, you know that it's ChatGPT or AI written. I can give you examples if you want, and you can look for them when people write stuff to you. You want to know what they are?
What are they?
Okay, first thing, if you see the word delve, interplay, ethical consideration. There are certain words: critical, crucial, essential. This is essential. This is crucial. This is pivotal. Those are. If you start seeing those words, you'll know that it's written by ChatGPT.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's Apple is using GPT or whatever it's called. I mean, I don't know what to think of AI. Okay.
I think you ought to buy a new AI phone called the iPhone 16. And, that'll solve your problem.
Yes. What do you think this is?
Hey.
Looks like a 12.
It looks like a 12, but it's a 16.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's about time you spent some money.
What do you mean?
He always gets a new phone and new watch. Come on.
No, I have not gotten a new phone for 3 years. And one of the reasons I haven't is, number
2
one,
years.
my other phone was still working. The
Battery still good?
The battery was starting to slow up. That's why I decided to get a new phone. But the reason I haven't gotten a new one is because they didn't tell me anything about the newer phones that had anything that was different than the 12 that I had.
Yeah, I got a 14.
Hold on, the USB-C charging port.
Yeah.
That I like.
I am looking forward to that one day.
Well,
Yes.
well, that's that's nice, but nevertheless, I mean, I don't see any of that as being a completely new or wonderful or something that we should buy it for. You know, sometimes they improve the camera, you know, a
That
little
was
bit.
another reason.
Yeah.
And that's about it, you know. So I went for 3 years without getting a phone, just simply not because I was cheap and didn't want to get one, but because it just, you know, they weren't new enough, you know. So I figure after I went 3 years, there would be enough new stuff on it that it would work okay. And so that I've got I've got the 16 now, and probably, you know, I don't know when I'll get the next one, but I could get it after a year on the plan I'm on. So
It used to be a real pain in the neck to change phones, so I put it off. I went 5 years this time, and I was one of these people who used to like line up at the Apple store or AT&T or whatever carrier I had at the time.
mhm.
At first, it was only AT&T. You didn't have any options, but yeah, I was one of those people who stood in line for
I
like
stood
two.
in line. I stood in line for the first one. Remember
I
that?
did it for four of them. And then it's like, there's not enough of it. The changes are too incremental. It's not worth the bullshit of like having to move into a new phone. Now it's easy. Going from the 10 to the 15 was super easy. You just hold the two phones together and boom, it's done.
Yeah, yeah. But
But I have to do all my passwords and it's like, oh God, I have 31 email addresses. This is ridiculous. you know?
well,
So the pain of that.
yeah, I find that with the new phone, what bothers me most about it is that there are a couple of things I think are not as good. I mean, they're kind of, what happens is they start throwing so much stuff into these phones just to be able to sell you a new one, that by the time you buy the new one, there's such a learning curve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, you know?
iOS 18 was a big jump in learning curve.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know half the stuff that's there. I just use the phone for what I use it for, which is,
Right.
Taking video and making calls. And I don't even make calls because I don't have any friends left who are alive.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed on the last update, because I use my calculator, it's like, I became math dumb with this thing. The calculator is very slow on it. I mean, there's a lot of lag on it, and it just happened on the last
Really?
update. Yeah.
I found just the opposite. The calculator, I did a scientific thing on something that for a friend of mine. He told me to punch these numbers in. He was on the phone and it was, 2 seconds later and it had the answer for him.
No, it's like even when I hit the keys, it's like so much lag. It's like almost a second. It's like, what's up?
Really?
Yeah.
And it
What-
was just on the last
Which
update.
iPhone do you have?
15.
Oh, I got a 14.
It's
14.
a year old. Yeah,
Yeah.
last year was a
13
watch
over
and
here.
phone year, and this year is supposed to be a computer year. But I was reading about the M4s like getting so overheated that the fan's always going off, and it's like, do I really?
The M4 what?
The MacBook Pro,
CPU.
the
The
M4
MacBook
chip,
Pro? Oh, okay. Yeah.
and I'm
Am I
like,
the only one here with Android?
Probably.
Am I the only one here that has an Android phone?
Yes.
oh, you're a green bubble person. Green
Oh.
bubble can't send you any
But
attachments.
do they, where you live, Vernon, do they sell iPhones in that state?
Yes, they do.
Problem is, I can't go to the Android, and here's the reason why.
You're used to the iPhone.
I got an iPad, I got an iPhone,
Yeah.
and that,
Wow.
and so I'm in the ecosystem. All these
Exactly.
things talk to each other, okay? But if suddenly I get myself an Android phone, it ain't gonna talk to any of them.
You're like working on a PC again.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Billy.
Yeah, you're
took me-
absolutely
it-
right.
It took me so long to get used to delete a program just to throw it into the trash. It was so simple. I was stupefied. And I have an octuple boot system. I have an Intel G5 Mac Pro in the other room, and I've got 4 versions of Windows in it, 4 versions of Mac in it. And it took me a long time to move over to like my Mac operating systems in there. It was just, it can't be this simple. I'm used to having to go through 2-3 steps and hope the uninstaller works on this, you
Well,
know?
for
And
years I was a PC guy, and then one day I started working with somebody who had a video operation, and I was editing for him, and he had Macs. And I got used to the Mac, and then I never went back.
once you go Mac, you can never go
Well,
back.
for what I do, audio and video and so on, it's the better computer. Okay? I mean, I have a Mac, my second Mac Studio here. You know, it's a powerful video machine. It's incredible, you know.
No antivirus software bogging you down. Remember that? Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. But the thing is that I also have a PC over here, and, you know, I go, why? You know, it's just too much. When you want to get rid of something, you have to go through too much to get rid of the program. With an Apple, you just drag and drop it and put it in the trash.
And it's like,
you know.
it took me a long time to get to trust that and get used to it. And it's like, no, can't really. There's got to be more to it. And it's like, no.
Right. So, how many here have Android? Anybody have Android besides just you? I guess. And Bree, because Bree doesn't flow with the rest of society. You know, take it from me, Bree. I had a PCs for years. It was the only thing I did, and all of a sudden I went to Mac, and I never went back. You know.
Yeah, you just can't. The simplicity, it's just seamless between all your devices. You know, I
that's true.
On my watch, you know, and then my watch is a phone, so I don't even have to bring my damn phone because it's like.
Right.
An iPad Mini, I don't have to go anywhere with my phone.
Well, I got the Mac iWatch Ultra. Yours isn't the Ultra, is it? No.
No,
I love.
That's too big for me.
I'll tell you, this is really an incredible
and my festive watch band.
This is an incredible watch. It's just amazing. So anyway,
I haven't worn a watch for 15 years.
You know what suddenly
I had to track my health like unbelievable, and this I could track my sleep. It's like because I knew I wasn't going crazy, and things that I was experiencing when I was awake were actually happening when I was asleep.
Well,
too.
I realize it with all the things I have, like my Amazon Echo, you know, Alexa, and the watch, and so on, and the watch.
Okay, what artist are you in the mood to hear? Maybe
and don't say the A word.
Echo, shut up.
Say it again.
I won't say the other word because mine it uses the E word, but because I didn't do the A word because that's my name, and people might say my name, and then it would go off.
Set it off.
But all I got to say is that I suddenly realized the other day, I haven't had to set a clock in years. I might have had, well, a couple of them in the house I had to because they were old-fashioned stuff. But for the most part, right down to the second. You know, it's correct.
I can't figure out why appliances like your range or your microwave don't have those WWV clocks built into them, so you never have to set them after a power failure.
I have a...
I know, look at my...
I have a... Oh, look,
Mine says 11:30 still. I haven't changed it at all.
Oh, okay. I have an LG stove, and I have an LG, let's see, an LG dishwasher, and all of them work off the Wi-Fi. So they're all set right, you know.
The clocks are.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's cool.
My car stereo knows when I have my phone with me and when I don't. If I leave the house without my phone, it goes, "You don't have your phone with you." So that's cool. But it doesn't know what time it is.
I can't drive without music, so you know I would immediately know that I don't have my phone with me. I just can't drive without music.
Well, here's
And
the thing.
the music comes from the phone. So.
Every now and then, my watch goes off and says, "You don't have your phone with you."
You don't have cellular on your watch?
No, I have cellular on my watch, but it says you don't have your iPhone with you. You left it at home. Or you. I had one thing that kept telling me that I had left it at Whole Foods. Every time I went into Whole Foods and I left, it told me that I had left my iPhone at Whole Foods or my wallet at Whole Foods. And I never could figure out why it constantly did that to me. You know,
My new Cadillac. When I come home from work, I open the back door and I put my laptop bag there, and then I get in the car. When I come home and I turn off the car, it puts a reminder. Remember, there's something in the back seat.
No, okay. I hate my stove because every now and then I get a message that goes, "I need cleaning."
Well, my stove would say it's time to blow the dust out of. The oven would say it's time to blow the dust out of here.
Yeah.
I use it for storage.
No, really.
My car tells me when the car in front of me has pulled away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Don't you hate all these devices that nag at you?
At least it doesn't tell you your door is ajar. No, my door is not.
No, it does.
It's a door.
By the way, in case you don't know,
Now it just beeps. You know.
For those,
mine won't let you start it if the door's open.
By the way, for those of you who are fans of Amy and go on her show, she is not going to be doing a show tonight.
Oh.
She's not feeling well, so you know.
Oh, sure.
But that's a lame excuse, yeah. But
With about all the smart tech, I'm reminded of that old Bobby Slayton line where he goes home and his house says, "We don't need you anymore," and the vacuum cleaner chases him out the door.
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, we're getting to the point where where our machinery is going to start ruling our lives. You know. But I mean, everybody's a little afraid of AI. But I don't know. Should we be afraid of AI?
I'm really afraid of it to the extent of job loss. To be honest with you, but no. Otherwise, I'm good with it.
We should be afraid
and
of
also,
it. Because...
hold on. And UHC is also using AI as a denial nurse. So yeah, to some degree, I am afraid of it.
Yeah. The reason why it's so scary is because we're putting too much faith in it. It's not as smart as we think it is. It's just really fancy Google. That's all it is.
I heard that CEO at United Healthcare, one of his new programs that he had just implemented was the phone system was automatically computer answered, or if an application was for payment, what came in on electronic mail, AI would automatically generate a denial letter.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's another thing. If you've ever had a call, I don't know what internet providers you have up there, but Comcast, for example, you can't reach a person anymore. You have to go through AI chat and hope that you get connected to somebody.
Oh, well, today, Marjorie and I had to deal with Chase Bank. Do you know how long their voicemail took? I mean, it took forever. And one announcement after another, and you couldn't get them to jump past that announcement. And we had about 5 minutes worth of announcements, only for them to put us on hold for 20 minutes. I mean,
to make sure you were in the right department.
They didn't want us to do it.
No, they wanted to make sure you were really serious about talking to them.
They wanted to make sure you weren't AI.
They don't want.
I have an excellent use for AI. Let's get rid of all of these CEOs and reinvest that money into the company and replace them with AI. I bet it could do their jobs fantastic.
Yeah. Hey, listen, that's the theme playing. You know what that means? The cat is showing.
We gotta go to bed.
That's what the cat is.
Time to boogie.
How old is that cat?
2.5 years old, I think.
Okay, looks like a young cat.
Yeah.
Hey, Lee, great to have you here 2 nights in a row. What a pleasure. What a
pleasure. I'll be back some more often. It's all about remembering when you're on, Al.
Well, we're on the same time every night, you know. Also, thank you so much, Charlie, for being with us, as well as Brian Neary. Joy, will you please call us again?
Absolutely.
Will you make this a
I love
habit?
that. This feels so nostalgic to me. It really does. Sometimes I'm working and I'll hear your voice in the background. It reminds me when I was in school. I do artwork for Alex at night.
We're taking 2 weeks off, but please, after we come back from that, give us a call, or tomorrow night, But
If I happen to catch you at the right time, because tomorrow I have to go to a condo board meeting, maybe a bad shape.
yeah. Vernon, thank you so much. Alan, thank you. And Bree, thank you as well. Everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a wave goodbye at you. There they go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our citizen panel for tonight. There is no Amy tonight. She is not feeling well, but, she'll be back again hopefully tomorrow night for the last show of the year. In the meantime, that's it for me. I'll see you again tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life. And as always, if you see her, you know what to do. Tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye.